you might think I've mapped some dull places, but I've never mapped dull. Do you want to follow along, see what's there, see if it's dull mapping or if there's interesting things? It's in that direction. Actually, I've already been there, and I already filmed an intro crouching down beside some bins and a notice board, so watch that. So you might think I've mapped some dull places, but I've never mapped until now Dull, a little village, I guess a hamlet really. So my wife is at a hotel a few villages over, and I needed something to do. I could have mapped the town we're staying in, but instead I saw there was a place called Dull and I thought I'd map that. It's got some noisy dogs. It doesn't have a great sign to film this intro outside of, even if it is part of the League of Extraordinary Communities, along with boring and bland. Anyway, so enough of this intro. I'm gonna walk through Dull and do some Dull mapping. Do you want to see what is in Dull and what there is to map? Then continue watching. So this is where I've been dropped off. Really is the middle of nowhere, a crossroads. The road up to Dull is very small. There is I'll show you here, there's a bus stop. That bus stop has a bus that passes it, well, different routes, but basically 3 times a day there'll be a bus there back to where our hotel is. It's sort of 4 miles away. And I've already missed one of those, so we'll see. I'll have to see what I explore up in Dull, up that road, if there's enough mapping, if I can time it to do some mapping and go back to the bus stop, or I might actually possibly take a walk over the hill and along there. The River Tay's in this valley, so I could take it there, but I mean it's a rural place, but isn't it a brilliant place to be dropped off and to explore without too much of a plan? Already plenty to map here. So the Highland Safari site is already mapped as a cafe, but look, there's a milepost that says we're on National Cycle Route number 7. So I'll map that as it's not a milepost but a signpost. I'm not sure, I think the bus might be mapped, and there's this really handy path here separate to the road, so I wasn't gonna walk along the road. I thought that's the most direct way back if I want to, but actually there's a path there. I'll map the start of it and the length. Maybe on aerial imagery I can see where it goes. I'll be able to mark the gate and stuff so people can find this is the entrance. Oh, so it's 3 miles, almost 4 miles to the hotel. So anyway, I better put on my high vis, better get mapping. I'm hoping there's a better sign than this one that says welcome to Dull or something like that. Okay, well, it's taken me about 30 minutes to map most of the house names, and I'm also taking photos of the roads and the tracks to those houses, because I'll be able to say on OpenStreetMap what kind of surface they are, the grade, so people know you're going to struggle with a big 18-wheeler truck to get into Dull. Anyway, there's no big sign unfortunately, so I'm going to have to film my intro by a little notice board. That's the best I can do. Yeah, that was really confusing. I was about to do it, but there was a lady that was confused why I would even be looking for a sign. I had to explain obviously not everyone comes to Dole just because of the name. So I've had a break, had some sandwiches. There's a footpath that goes off into the hills behind the church. There's also a few interesting notice boards, I guess, to maps. I'll do that. But yeah, it's about 30-40 minutes to map Dole. Not all that exciting, but hey, it was good to do. The view's amazing, which is why I want to get up onto the hills and see even more of the Scottish Highlands. Yeah, anyway, back to getting the bag on. It is a hot day, so I want to be in those trees in the shade. So there might not be a lot going on in Dole, but actually there's some interesting information. There's a couple of information boards here, and also by the post box and notice board there's a one of the old crosses of Dole, stone cross. So it's really interesting. It seems actually it was quite an important place, kind of the 18th century rather, right up to the start of the 15th century. There was a monastery here. It was the central place of learning apparently until St Andrew's University opened and it got the land. But also there was King Duncan of the Scots was here. Bits, if you know your history of Scotland more than me, you'll find that more interesting. It's not far from Scone Palace, I guess that's key, and in the edge of the Highlands here, between the Highlands and the Lowlands. So yeah, there's definitely some interesting stuff here. House names are always important to map, especially when there aren't numbers and road names to make it easy to find for postal workers or just people visiting. So I'll add all those, but I'll also add these information points. So if you're in Dole or you're nearby and you're stuck here, then yeah, you'll be able to find where there's information to read. There's also a memorial stone cross up there. The church looks like it's been turned into a house, but you could at least walk through, I guess. As I say, there was that path earlier on at the entrance. Maybe you'd pop in. Oddly, no big sign. I think I said that already. Anyway, no sign to take a funny photo though. Just stop at the main road if that's all you want. But anyway, people of Dole will finally have more detail on OpenStreetMap as I add these bits. Right, well that's Dole mapped as much as I can and as much as it provided some Dole content of this video. Took me about an hour, including filming segments for you. House names, a lot of them really clearly marked. A few not so much, which is a pain. Especially the last few, like you could easily get confused. I'll obviously have to go back and do some mapping on the computer because I've just been taking photos. OSM has been recording my track, so that'll give me a dotted line of where I went, and the photos will link up with where I took them, which will make it easy to know which house is what, and other things like those information boards. It's sweaty. I've got a few options now. I missed the morning bus back to Aberfilney, so I could go back to the main road and get the next bus. I'll probably make it because I think, well, yeah, it's in just under an hour. Easy to walk back there. My other option, go through the woods, and then which gets to the next village, and I'm sure I'll make, what time is it? So 2, 3, 4. There's a bus in about 3 hours, and that's the last bus of the day. But I'm tempted to walk up Weem Hill so I can get a view, and hopefully it looks like it'll be under the trees walking all that way. Probably not a lot of mapping, so I can leave the phone in my pocket and can flap flies away and heat away from me. Maybe I'll keep in touch with you then on how I get on my walk, or other mapping I do. Maybe you'll just see me back at the computer. But I hope you enjoyed my visit to Dole. Bye. Well, I walked to Kamzerni. I decided not to go up to Weem Hill. I think my water's run out, and it's just all the way up there and then down to Aberfeldy. Too much for me today. I've sweated enough already. So Kamzerni, I think, was the other village. I walked here. The bus stop. The bus is in 15 minutes. Had 20 minutes. So, but there's no sign of a bus stop. No lay-by, and a noisy little plane going across. So a quick couple of minutes walking down the road to see where that path I actually saw, you know, the really new one that, well, the nice smart one that's away from the road. So that, and the names of a couple of cottages I can quickly take photos. But I'm going to need to stand at the bus stop for 10 minutes till the time. There's no live tracking. We're really rural here. Yeah, so I mean the views are amazing. You just don't capture them on video. So I'll wait and see if the bus turns up. If it doesn't, then I've got a lot of waiting to do. Either a long walk, it's like 4 miles if I go on the main road, and this path is run out. So we'll see. I'll try that. If I'm still out here at 8 PM, then my wife will be coming past and giving me a lift. But that's all the mapping. Because I'll get back, and if the bus turns up, I should be back in Aberfeldy by 3 PM, and there's a load of shops and a load of detail, lots more mapping to do there, and a hotel where I can have a shower before doing more mapping. So anyway, but that'll be this will be it for the video, for the current video, unless there's a bit of me editing and showing you the before map and the after map. Does it still look dull? Is there more information and data behind the map than it shows? Your decision.